Good afternoon and welcome to Bob's KGS Series. I've done a number of things with my mic, and I think I might have it where it's actually going to work. First of all, the decibel level was high, and it was doing a plus 20. And the other thing was, because I have a laptop mic, what I was doing was I was talking louder than I normally do when I'm talking to somebody in a normal conversation, just because of the idea of the mic and like wanting to make it work. So I think when we add in those two things, we're going to end up with something that is a lot more workable. I was doing some mic tests a couple of days ago, and it seemed like the levels I have it at and the way that I'm going to be talking are going to be good. So let me know if there's a significant improvement on the way that everything sounds, and we're getting a game started. I put a challenge up. I'm sitting at home. My sons have been at Mother's Day out all morning, and my wife is going to pick them up, and then they're going to be at the park. So we should have enough time for me to get a game in, get some good review in. I do want to say that I've seen a comment or two on my games about the length of them, and I definitely apologize if the length is too long for some people. I'm not going to split it up. Somebody said, if you could split it up into a couple of different videos, then that would be good. I feel like if it's one game, it should be one video, and the length of time for the game, I know it's long. It's going to be anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour and a half. But I feel like this is the best format for actually going over a Go game. So the only other thing I could do is change the time controls, but I already feel like I'm rushing in some sense when I'm playing because the Byo-Yomi is only 50 seconds, which only 50 seconds is not a big deal, but for me it is because I usually use a minute 20 for my Byo-Yomi because I like to think a lot per move. Sometimes I'll play out a long sequence really quickly, like, okay, this is how things go, I've already read it out. But in actually reading it out, I take a lot of time, and I feel like I don't read extremely well, so I like to double and triple check for accuracy and things like that, so that things that generally tend to happen to me when I don't read won't happen to me when I do read. That's kind of important to me because I just there's a lot of epic fails in my games. So we're waiting on a game. I put up a game invitation before. I've only gotten one challenge so far, so we may be waiting a little bit of time. And I don't really know what to do during this time. Let's see if there's any good active games. Ooh, there's a 5 versus a 4 Don. Let's see how this game's gone so far. So an early approach, it's a blitz game, and that's a strong Kosumi. This is going to have a nice follow-up later on if white doesn't respond. If he does respond, then black's going to take this upper left corner. So it's a very nice thick move to use when somebody approaches. Another thing he could have done is just take this corner, saying, an approach on a corner is not as big as taking a corner itself. So now he gets the follow-up. And because of this, he gets a wall, and he gets an extension, and white immediately tries to cap that to reduce this area that he's making here. So black goes crazy. This is not something I'd recommend. This is a complicated fighting blitz game, so this may be good here, but more for psychological value, because if white just jumps, jump, 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 black has secured all of this, but once white does this, I mean, this is really the only place that he's gotten any territory in, and white gets strong in the center. So, see, now black is flattened out, and this reducing move becomes okay. So he peeps there, and then he attaches. Okay, now white gets out. Black has a weak group in the center. And if you count the amount of territory he made from this, he made 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. He's got about 15, 16 points here, maybe up to 20. But this attachment here is going to be reducing later because black can't really come after it. So he really only has like 10 points. White's strong in the center, black's not, and white's low, and his wall's been reduced. So I think black is not doing extremely well here, in my opinion. White is solid, so he's going to take this wall, and he's going to make this over-concentrated. So that's why he's attaching there. Oh, and we have a game. I don't want to play a question mark player. He's asking... He's asking if we could play, but he's a question mark player, so I don't know how strong he is. So, and I also don't want to make the time faster. So black tries to turn this into a fight, but I think white's going to be fine here. Yeah, see, he gets to Hane, and black has thick, solid territory here, but if you notice this wall, this Hane really helps that wall, and white's got to extend or something. Okay, I was thinking push up, but actually that's bad. This is a lot better. And black says, okay, I've secured territory, but I feel like black is over-concentrated. I feel like black is not doing well. White gets a corner. It's Gote. So now, yep, white's move here flattens black against this over-concentrated area while expanding white. So I really feel like white has a serious advantage now. He's way ahead, in my opinion. Black gets some Yose in. This is normally a bad idea, but white is already so thick here that black can get this in Sente, and it's not a problem for him. So now he invades. White pincers. This is the thick area, so he wants to make this stone weak, and he wants to attack it, and the cap is great. Now white's going to be developing against this, which will further reduce this wall while making white stronger, making him have a better developed area. And now gets to cut that stone off. Trying to figure out how good this is. This is, again, I think good for white. White gets really thick here, and so now he can expand this way or other things. Black lives in Sente and gets to come in. White blocks off the corner. And gets another corner. Peep there, and I really think K4. I think K4 is a lot more important. Or maybe, does this black group need to live? Does this, yeah, this reduces him to one eye. So he's going to continue to attack this group. Okay, so he's almost getting K4 type stuff in Sente. Black decides he's not going to let him get K4. White Hane, this is giving his group eye space to make sure that there's no Aji with the peep here. Now he attacks more and defends his shape. This is for Aji. Gets to come in the corner because of that in Sente, which is really nice. And this is a very big point right here. These stones are now cut off. This jump would have threatened to revive the stones, which kind of cuts this group off, which means that other Aji opens up here. Somebody just challenged me. If this goes on for 5 or more minutes, then I may just start the cast over, and then everything will be lost. And now we are at the actual game. So let's see what we've got here. This Atari, and then connect. Yeah, black has nothing in the corner. Ooh. We may get one of these games. This is a tilde player challenging me, so I re-challenged him with a 3-stone handicap, and he takes white. I've explained that in the past. And I think it's actually a good learning opportunity. I got stronger when I started to take that extra handicap. And the reason is because a 1Q player, when they take a 3-stone handicap against a 1-don, they tend to go crazy, like absolutely crazy. And I started to learn, White ran out of time. Black wins the game. Good game, Black. I started to learn that, when your opponent comes in and does weird things, you don't have to worry about them living. And this taught me a lot, because once, and I'm going to close this. Sometimes when there's a lot of text here, people think that you're not available anymore. So I'm going to re-challenge. See how long this cast has been going on. It doesn't say. So we'll see. And when they do all kinds of crazy stuff, like the first thing you want to do is a bunch of crazy stuff. But if you play solidly, because oh, they're playing again, I would take this other corner. Okay, so White's going to take the corner. We may end up with the same game. And honestly, I think Black should have played high to extend before. I don't know why he decided to extend low, because I think he wanted to invite White in and then do that pincer that he did last time, but I don't really like it. Okay, so now the game has changed. White's playing faster, or no, Black's playing faster, but now White gets this. This group is fine, so he doesn't have to respond here, because if Black peeps, White can even ignore that, because this invasion point just gives White a wall. So these stones are going to be fine no matter what. So now White gets this. The reason he's attaching is because this wall is very strong. So the exchanges here versus this makes this area stronger, but it was already really nice before, and White getting stronger here is very important. So the exchanges that he has are good for White, okay for Black. I think it's a gain for White, and I think White should ignore this. If anything, play like a move like this. But yeah, the big move is very much more important. So Black treats this as thick, which is good to do, but it's going to start a really nasty fight. And there we go, copy play, 2 Dawn, and we are off. We'll see what ends up happening with that other game. So, good luck. I am definitely going to play normally now, because I like this. Being able to play this high move, I just love the aesthetic of these stones. And any type of pincer here is okay locally, of course, but against this Black stone is not really all that important. So, I don't know. I really like this for Black in this position. But he decides to attach. He's going for influence. And the question is, do I want to Hane here, or do I want to protect my cut point? In a way, I think that the Hane is more important. Yeah. This cut here is protected by the fact that these stones are going to be strong. So as of right now, I don't think I should defend this cut point, because he can drop down. The drop down is a lot better in my opinion. Let me see. I think I'm going to do this. I really want to see what he's after here. Like, what does he really think is going on? I mean, in my opinion, as of right now, I still have this cut point. So he gets to Hane underneath. But notice his stones are really not doing a lot. And once he Hanes here and I connect, he's going to have to protect this cut point. Otherwise, his stones are going to die. So I'm going to run out. And even if these stones do die, if I can get a really nice thick position here, I'm not entirely dissatisfied. I'm not sure exactly what he thinks is going on here, but now I have an Atari. Okay? So I think what I'm going to do is protect the stones that are surrounded. Anything he does to throw in here is going to become a ko. He can cut this, but he's not happy yet. So as of right now, I'm really not having a bad time in this game. I really think that I'm doing okay. Let me see. That Hane is low. If he pushes here, I'm going to die. If I extend, and he does this, I think I'm in a little bit of trouble. If I cut directly, the best thing he's got is a crazy ko. I think I'm going to go back and cut here. I think I'm going to go back and cut. This stone is not important. So if he pushes, I can Hane, and I'm not really having too hard of a time there because these two stones are important. But even with the clamp here, I've got this Atari. So let's just see what he wants to do. He decides he wants to do that. Oh, this is going to be a crazy ko. Is he really going to go for that? Does he really want that ko? He cannot fight that ko. I can Atari here, and then this, and now what? Now he's going to throw in here. I mean, this is Atari, but when I connect and he Ataris, I go to ko, and he is, let me see, I'm going to let him connect underneath. If he really wants to. Okay, so if I do this, well, I lose these two stones. I don't care about losing those two stones. I think I'm just going to get thick on the outside. So he gets the Hane, and he's actually, I think, going to get in a double Hane. Oh, he's going to cut me. Alrighty then. First thing I'm going to do here, because it's free, and I'm never going to Atari this way, that's just crazy, is I'm going to do this. Next thing I'm going to do is Atari myself out. And so my weakest stones are these. I need to help them any way I can. So I'm going to do this. And I can push this guy to Kingdom Come. I don't want him to get the turn in until I have enough liberties. So I'm going to push him about 3 or 4 times and get him heavy if he wants. And then I'm going to come back and grab this ladder. I think that's the first thing. The reason why I want a lot of liberties is because this kind of move and stuff like that. Okay, so now I'm going to play this. He's going to capture these 2 stones if he wants them. If he really wants these 2 stones, he can have them. And if he really wants to give me a huge corner, he can also do that. Okay? I think I should take care of my shape here, because if I push, he's got this throw in, he's got this Atari, or I can Hane. If I Hane, he doesn't have enough liberties to Atari me. So here's how the Hane will go. If I Hane, he's going to cut, and then I'm going to do this. He's going to push, and I do this. I'm aiming at this cut point. He can only protect, in which case I can turn, and this group's safe, and this group is also safe because if he throws in, I do this, and he can't Atari. So he can only extend, and once I extend, my liberties are fine. So I'm going to mess with his liberties first. So he cuts. So now he Ataris. I have to think about something. He can get a Panuki in the center, but I don't want to get too complicated. He's trying to do a lot of stuff here. So one of the things about that is if I extend, he tries to push again, or if he tries to come out, then I can push, and he still can't do that little Atari until he's got that. So I'm going to extend. This may be just for Aji. He may end up capturing these 2 stones. I don't really care about that. Okay, so he connects. Obviously, you do this immediately without question. Who cares about anything else? He's got 2 weak groups in the center, and this stone can't run out. It's in a ladder. So this group is fine, and it's getting more fine all the time. Honestly, I feel like his position is completely untenable here. It's just like he can resign. Okay, so I'm going to connect. He's making shape next to my thickness with this group. If I get a turn in, that's just ridiculous, like beyond ridiculous. Even if he jumps. So he's going to push, but the thing is, I either build up on the right or I build up on the right and on the top. So I'm going to take my turn and let him make as much shape as he wants. Okay? He's going to ignore that. So the question is, do I want to play the shape point? And the answer is I do, but this group can still be attacked, but so can this corner. So I'm going to Hane to secure my corner. Oh, man, I just made a mistake. So I should have descended. I had too many cut points. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Okay, I've got enough. I can do this. It's not pretty, but it works. As long as it works, it doesn't matter if it's pretty. But the first thing you should do is be pretty, because pretty almost always works. Not pretty, sometimes it don't work so good. What the heck is he doing now? Is he going to make a ko? I should have played the ko once, but now he gets to play this move. This is completely and absolutely unimportant. So we're going to go back and attack. The reason it's unimportant is because these stones can't come out anyway. So these stones are totally fine. He gets a free forcing move there, but I get to seal him in this area and just kill these stones. Or yeah. So the Atari first, he extends. Then, let's see, I can Atari this way and connect. Normally the Atari is not good, but since if I go here, this is a forcing move, the Atari actually becomes okay. He extends, I connect, and all of these stones are mine. Okay, he doesn't think they are. I can either cut here. I don't think I need to cut there because I can still cut there. This Atari is mine at any time, but I don't want to take it until I get enough of this. Once I get that, I'm fine. He might attach here. That would be kind of funny. But if he tries to cut through, again, this stone is unimportant because it is not a cutting stone. So he gets this move, which is a forcing move, forces me to do this. But the question is, like, how does he expect to live with these stones? Like, what is he doing? And I wish I knew the answer. I don't know the answer. But, you know, his name is Coffee Play. So We know a little bit about his style from uh, his name. This cut is seriously important. He can't let me have this. So he has to get these liberties away while keeping this isolated with this attachment. And once I connect here, I'm threatening the same thing I was threatening before, which is this Hane, to kill him. And I'm threatening to cut here. So he should just resign. So now the first thing I'm going to do is just go back, secure those stones. It's semi-sente. It's not really sente because that move is available. But now what is he going to do? Again, he's left with 2 weak groups and a 3rd weak group over here, which I can do something like this. Okay? So, if he wants to do that, I'm going to Hane because he doesn't have a lot of liberties. He can do crazy things with that Hane, but notice this Hane stone again is not important. So I don't have to worry about it. Okay, so that is a way to play solidly against crazy play. If he wants to go crazy, you should let him. And you should just play solidly. Because what's going to happen over the course of the game is you're going to make strong positions that can't really be attacked. So let's go over the game. I don't know if I should have said that or if I shouldn't have, but I feel like, I'd rather explain why it is I'm going over this game move by move and have him wonder, like, is he serious? Like, why would you even go over a game like this? Because I really feel like he played a lot of double-edged moves that I think were overplays, and I think he knew they were overplays. So the first thing that I would do if I were of that style is say, why is it that my opponent's reviewing this? He just took me out, and it would feel like an insult to me. So that's why I explained it. So first off, whenever I see this Kosumi as White's first move, that chooses for me the corner that I'm going to play in. Because if he would have done here, I would have played here. Because it makes an extension from this stone also an approach to this stone, which I feel like just helps my stones to work well together. Now, that doesn't mean that it's like White's going to lose, but I think most pros would frown upon Kosumi as the first move by White, unless it was a Kosumi that was directly related to this stone in terms of reducing one side. So like something like this. And then you have a style where black is high and white is low, and it's definitely a very speedy style for White. It's very playable. I don't happen to like this opening for White because I feel like his 2 stones aren't really working well together. They're both open, and they're both attackable, which means they're both separated from each other. So they're too far apart. But obviously it's a good style because you see a lot of pros play it, even still today. And especially a long time ago, it was like in vogue. It was the thing to do. So here comes this opening, and this is a weird move. This move is usually seen in the context of a pincer, a high pincer, and an ogama. And the reason it's played in this context is as a cutting stone. So then the Hane being met with an extension here is great because you are strengthening your cutting stone against the other stone of blacks. So this is very, very good in this context, but without the context of the pincer and the additional stone, white's move only leaves behind more weaknesses than you would normally want. This bump, for instance, it's a move that leaves weakness. It's a move that exploits the weakness or uses a forcing move to make black stronger locally. And so white's idea, I think, is that black is going to come in and cut. We're going to start a complicated fight. That fits my style. I'm really good at that. But I think this Hane, you know, I could come in and cut here, but I thought, in my opinion, that this leaving these weaknesses behind forces him to kind of fix, then I can fix, then everybody's fine. Black may be I don't think he's over-concentrated. Black is really strong. White is still not completely alive. I mean, a move to surround in this area later on is going to force him to play B2 and Gote. So black, in my opinion, gets stronger than white, but I think it's a pretty even exchange. I think it ends up a little bit worse for white, but not a huge amount. This cut is the first overplay, in my opinion, because it's, I don't know, it's just not good. Actually, what I could have done is this, because there's just nowhere for him to go. Maybe not that. Let me see. Oh, I guess that's what he was expecting. Oh, yeah. This, then he does this, then he descends. Oh, I see. I guess his whole idea is that normal moves that you would expect in the context of the other Joseki don't work in this position, so he's trying to exploit that and make me do something that's not supposed to work. So he's making me overplay in response to his overplays. But I just thought to myself, if I strengthen the outside, he's going to have to descend, and then I can make life in the corner. I'm fine. And then I've got a nice little fight because these stones aren't going to come under attack anytime soon while he has to engage both this group and this group. So that's the way I was thinking. And this Kosumi was weird. I think I should have just done this because if he jumps out, like, honestly, what's the problem? I mean, this is just not good because if he goes back to live, I just surround, and he's toast. So he's got two weak groups again. Maybe I should have done that, just protect my weakest group. Instead, I made him stronger in this area, which wasn't, I think it wasn't the best idea. This was to remove liberties, so he has to protect. He cannot go on a rampage and, like, do something like this, because what I could do is this, and I think I'm fine. These two stones have become useless. He's gotten thick. Yeah, my corner's small, but I'm thick on this side, and it fits well with this stone. This is probably a lot better for white than he should get, but it's not bad for black. So knowing that that is the case, that something that was better for white than he should get ended up not really being bad for black, makes me think that this whole idea is just not working. So I should have done this. Once he does this, yeah, he can live locally, but I don't know. Okay, that's a bad idea. Let's move on. Pretend I said nothing. Okay, so this was a great idea. Let him push. He can push me all day long. I don't care. And I think that all day long ends here because if I extend here, then he can do this, and all of a sudden, like, where am I going to find life for this black group here? I mean, I'm still going to get a nice outside. You know, I can do something like this, and I'm still fine. I've sacrificed these stones, but I'm really kind of okay with all this influence. So even still, it's not bad, but I didn't want to lose these stones. I didn't mind the Hane here, because he can do a double Hane. And this stone, and, you know, he should connect here. And then, I mean, I really don't end up in a bad position. I've got some cutting points. I've got this weakness. but overall I feel like I'm strong on the outside, or at least I have more influence, and fixing my shape will just become my priority in the next few moves. So he does this, cut. Now I'm pretty sure I'm going to capture this, or I'm going to capture this, or both. And that was fine by me. Atari. Now this forces him to come underneath. And I thought to myself, what if I do this? Can I do this? But this Atari is really, I mean, it makes a ko, and the ko is great for me. He can cut here now. I do this. He can play probably this move, not like that. And even now, I mean, he's got to push a time or two, and these 4 stones are totally going to be, I mean, there's just no reason for them to even come out at the moment. They're going to get severely attacked. Black is really super thick. Even if he tries something like this, I can just wall him off. And he does get eye space if I do that. But at the same time, there's Aji back here, so when I get a turn in, he's going to have to do this. So he's going to have to push me one more time before he does all of that. I get thickness, and even if he comes back to live here, I don't really care. What is white gained? He's got like 10 points total. He's got small life on both sides, and I feel like black has a great game. So I could have done that. I didn't want to go to a ko, so I strengthened the outside. Now he has a way to connect under, but you'll notice that as of right now, he doesn't have a way to connect his groups, which is very important. And we never even got into the fact that this is important. And again, he tries to just go crazy. So he's trying to live next to my thickness, which strategically I'm fine with, because as long as it stays thick, it means that I just don't care if he lives there. So if he does end up making life, every exchange he makes is going to exchange a stone for me somewhere else, which gives me an advantage in another place. So I don't really mind. So now he thinks, okay, I'm going to play this move, and what's black going to get? Maybe what I should have done is turn here first. If I were white, I would give up these stones, but I'm pretty sure he wouldn't, which means he's going to do something like this or something like this, and then I can attack, and I can gain something over here. Then I can go back for the turn if and when he makes life there. But I felt like the turn was really strong, and so I just went for it. So he gets this, and the Hane here was a little bit more crazy than I thought it was going to be. So obviously I should be doing this, and even when he plays this, I should protect my shape. But at that point, he's probably going to come back and do this. I let him make life here, and then once I play this, he's going to be able to make life here. But again, what do I care? Like, why am I caring? I'm already ahead on territory. I can, later on, I can come back and block here. And if he wants to try to connect up, he's going to have to risk all of his stones. So at that point, I mean, he's going to connect in Gote, or once I take this, all of this is now dead. So like everything he's done for the whole game has become useless. So later on, I can think about that. I wasn't thinking about it right now because I didn't want to worry about any kos or anything. But this looked ugly. This was seriously ugly. But ugly is good when you're not a beautiful person. So next, we get this attack. And I mean, you can see how game over this is. This is just, I mean, it doesn't matter what happens here. It like really does not matter what ends up happening. Black has a serious and undeniable complete edge in this game, and it's not going to go away. And actually, I think he was looking forward to this. And I mean, I could seriously do this, but I don't want to get these stones weak. I just want to stay strong on the outside. And then when he comes back here, I cut. And that's the end of the game. Hold on, I got a cell phone call. Hold on one second. Hello? This is Zach Smith. Very good. Can I call you back in about 10 minutes? Okay, thank you. Bye. Guys, let me know. Did I give away my Social Security number on YouTube? No, I'm just playing. Okay, so that's the end of the game. I guess I should have just called that person back, but I thought it might have been my wife. We only have one cell phone right now, so if she had something to do, then she would have borrowed somebody's cell phone. So I didn't recognize the number. Thought it might be my wife, and it wasn't. So that is the only mistake I have made today. I have not made any mistakes in Go. Unless you see one, go ahead and put it in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think I should do if I don't get a game challenge, because I'm sitting here going, twiddling my thumbs. Should I talk about the weather? You know, I like the idea of going after some high dawn games and kind of going through them. But let me know what you guys think, and I will see you probably in about a week. Thanks again for watching.